All right, here we go. In theory, and I forgot to preemptively have Epic Pen up, so let's take care of that. Excuse me, please respond. Thank you. Okay, now we just have to bring up everybody's nemesis. Let's see if it spazzes out and causes us to glitch and lag. Not yet. It will eventually. Don't worry about that. Okay, everything looks fine. Actually go into the control room. Forgot about that part. Load, 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 load. Already muted. Everything's taken care of. Live chat. Hello. Okay. So, while we wait for people to gradually accumulate, let's go over some quick side stuff. The government shutdown in the US continues, obviously, which may, depending on how long it goes on for, it may end up a bit bad for us on my end. As everybody knows, I used to live up in Alaska. Then 2020 happened, and since then I've been in exile down here at my parents' place in South Carolina, where we predominantly live off of my dad's income, which is he works for the State Department, so that's federal government, and his next paycheck 2 weeks from now, if the shutdown is still ongoing, he will not receive. That won't be an immediate we'll end up out on the street thing. Uh, we could go for a number of rounds before that would be a risk, but still not ideal. And prices, meanwhile, gold and silver continue going upwards. Copper is lagging behind where it should be. Given the present situation, it actually should be around or above $6, but it's still hanging out around 5 at the moment. It almost went up to where it should have been preemptively, actually, because those two massive incidents and mine shutdowns caused by natural disasters that took out temporarily about 4% of the world's copper supply. They happened around here in August/early September. So that would have been preemptive, but around $6 is where they technically should be right now, but copper's still lingering down around 5 because the market is kind of dumb. It's throwing everything into gold and silver. Gold supply demand wise obviously should not be anywhere near this high, but silver, yeah, silver supply demand wise, based on the deficit scenario, is now at a point where, yeah, $50 plus a little bit is roughly reasonable. It's going to keep going beyond that range though, because again, unfortunately, this is not, it's like 30% connected to the actual supply demand deficit. The market suddenly started finally paying attention to that. But 70% of it is just being driven by investor panic because of all the various ongoing things around the world. But silver's up to 54, gold's up to 4,300. And if, let's see, no, they're just down here, right? Yeah, if you go to, first I'll show you them to begin with. Where's silver? There's silver. So this is not, as I said in the silver price video, this is not an actual record high for silver, as the $49 per ounce spike that it saw in 2011, that would technically be in the 60s in 2025 dollars, and the $40 per ounce spike that it saw back in 1980 would technically be close to 150 in today's dollars. So not technically a record value wise, but nominally, obviously, has never gone higher than $49 per ounce until now. It's at 54. Gold is, yeah, gold is definitely past equated value records. The biggest spike was also in the 80s, or at the very start of the 80s. It went up to, it looks like 700 or 800 or so, which in today's money would be about 3,000, but obviously now it's at 4,300. And if you want to see those graphs or any other, all kinds of graphs, in case you're new to the channel, if you go, let's go out to Studio. If you go to any video, so from the viewer angle for what you guys see, don't play the ad while I'm actually watching, because then YouTube gets suspicious of you. If you go down to the description, there's a free access drive link that takes you to this. We have all these folders full of all kinds of different graphs, like, for example, oil graphs, or like export ratios, export, in this particular case, domestic consumption versus production. So you can see people's export ratios, like Brazil here. There's all kinds of graphs there. That's always free to access at any time. And you can see those long-term price graphs that I just showed you there as well. All right, that should be enough time. People should be here now. 4, 3. Yeah, I'm a bit early, so I guess, yeah, shouldn't really expect that many people to be here. It's about an hour earlier than I usually go. Let's see. Bright yellow or bright desert, probably best to switch over to. What happened to Epic then? I don't remember closing it. Okay, it's probably best to switch to purple. Don't do this to me again. Don't do this thing. No. Hey, bring this up. Then bring this up. No. All right. Try this again. Try closing. Then bring it up again. Now, no. Why? Well, what is wrong? What is wrong here? How does this work? Like dock you in there? I forgot how we did this last time. All right. Okay, I don't want it to draw over OBS. That's good, but I do want it to draw on here. I don't get what is wrong here. What am I doing? And Pro, activate Pro, I guess blah 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 blah, mouse wheel, Windows login. Screenshots, I don't care. Ghost mode, hotkeys. No, nothing about that in there. I forgot. How did I fix this last time? How did I fix this? I forgot. How did I fix it last time? Do you minimize this? I think I minimized this and then brought it back up. What's this? Blackboard? No. Whiteboard? Doesn't matter. Menu. Oh, there's more colors. I thought it was just 4. I never knew that. I'm stupid. Okay, how did I fix this? You? No? Truly, I forgot. Oh, okay, I guess you just do it a million times and that fixes it. So, Gaza, the ceasefire finally did happen. The remaining hostages were released, and it looked like it was holding for 4, maybe 5 days. But now there's questions about that and issues, as now apparently Hamas has been, I don't know if it was specifically, if it was beheading people or just uh, execution by shooting in the back of the head, but supposedly they started killing people. at random, kind of, although they say that they're like gang members or whatever. So now, off of that, the IDF has said that if that continues, they're going to go back in, obviously. So, yeah, didn't last very long. I mean, technically, until they do re enter, it technically is still in place. So, this is about a week that it has officially actually been in effect for. But, like, literally everybody knew it was not actually going to last. So, especially after Israel just straight up said that their actual intent was to remain there forever and eventually annex it. In the meantime, though, as seen, and I even used that one for the thumbnail, Israel has shifted its focus back up to Lebanon in the meantime, since on paper it's not supposed to be doing anything in Gaza. So they've resumed bombing targets across Lebanon. That was for 2 nights now. Tonight would be a third if they end up resuming it. Actually, it's nighttime over there now, so should have started appearing if they are. Let's see. Anything? Uh, domestic stuff. Ukraine got, oh, yeah. Carried out a series of strikes tonight. Okay, so that's 3 nights in a row. So they are back at it in Lebanon. They've shifted their focus there. As since we've said a million times, and like everyone else has said a million times, uh, Benjamin there is facing imprisonment basically because everybody knows he's guilty of the corruption stuff. So he has to keep the state of national emergency or defense emergency going because under that clause, the president of or prime minister of Israel cannot be arrested. So kind of got pressured into taking this one off the table, even if that ceasefire only lasts for like a week or two. So do have to keep going elsewhere, doing other stuff, along with the Houthis are down there. I think the IDF killed one of their generals last night or something in an airstrike. So the situation has to keep going, whether manufactured or otherwise, so that you can avoid prison time. But one way or another, even without the smaller stuff, there is, still the resumed campaign against Iran that's coming sometime within the next 3 months. That was the warning that was given. Again, with the statement being if conditions don't improve, with no wherewithal or clarity given to what they meant by conditions or improving. So basically a blank check type statement. So that's going to renew at some point soon. So he'll have everything one way or another. We're not lagging, are we? No, we're good. Okay. Now over here, check chat quickly. No, it's just Andrew. Wow, it's just you guys. Whoever you three are. This is what happens when I do these early. So, Afghanistan and Pakistan had a brief 1 week war over the past week. The Taliban started by, you remember they did this earlier in the year a few times. They started by attacking various border crossing guard spots and outposts along the border with Pakistan, which prompted Pakistan to retaliate both on the ground, in which they saw engagements, and via airstrikes. There were quite a few done on the capital of Kabul in Afghanistan. And I have those here? No, that's Russia, Ukraine. This was some of the airstrikes done in Kabul by the Pakistani Air Force. So They were going at it for about a week or so until yesterday, and they now have both signed a ceasefire, supposedly, but also supposedly a few hours ago it was already broken. No clarity yet as to who started it. It was likely Afghanistan, because as we've discussed before, the Taliban, and uh, in case any of you, I don't know if any of you actually saw or read that article when it came out, interviewing former Taliban leaders and fighters trying to adjust to government management office life. They cannot stand actually being in power and just having to do bureaucratic management. So I proposed a few times already that they really just don't know how to function outside of uh, outside of never-ending jihad. So they're in like a what is normal life. Uh, they're in a what is normal life mental crisis. So they've started, at least in my view, attacking Pakistan more and more frequently to potentially try to spark, if not an I don't know an invasion by Pakistan, if not just a border war, like just along the shared border. And I would assume the choice being Pakistan, because they are doing river and economic cooperation stuff with the Central Asian nations, so they wouldn't want to provoke against them, and also uh, kind of off and on semi supported by Iran, so don't want to antagonize them. And also, since Iran is kind of in a position of framing itself as, this valiant defender taking a stand against Israel and the West for the sake of the Islamic world, the Taliban doesn't want to be seen as going against them. So that kind of just leaves Pakistan as an available punching bag to go for. A punching bag that will, like, pull out a gun and shoot you in return for punching it. But that's the point, because the Taliban, again, just can't really adapt to living normal non-warfare life. So provoking another conflict with someone is kind of the point. And so we have this 1 week war that just ended, but also, again, since there was supposedly fire exchanged just a few hours ago, potentially not really ended and about to start up again, which would be, if the theory is correct, what the Taliban wants. All right, just Andrew, 8, 11. Oh, now people suddenly showed up. Hello, everyone who showed up, who just like showed up in the last few minutes. Sorry, I started extra early. You're gonna have to go back on the stream time bar to catch the prior stuff. But so that's the immediate Middle East stuff, the Afghanistan, Pakistan stuff. We have Russia, Ukraine stuff ongoing, of course. Additional strikes on that one remaining major fuel depot on the Crimean Peninsula, and it is yeah, it's gone. It's still burning, and it's all burning, as you can kind of see by the size of that giant black smoke plume. And it's been burning for a number of days. Also, additional refineries were hit, and ones that were already struck were struck again, damaging obviously the repair efforts that are being undertaken at them, and also strikes against power plants continue in Belgorod, and that's Kursk, right? Yeah, that's Kursk, that's Bryansk. I'm pretty sure it was the other one was Kursk. It's primarily been in Belgorod for the moment. And what else was there? There were a few. There were some more aircrafts, some more Russian Air Force aircraft downed. There was an Su-34 that went down. There was, I don't remember what it was, an Su-30 or 27. I'm pretty sure it was 30, but there was one that went down near the front, but not shot down. It went down because of mechanical failure, because of the ongoing maintenance issues. And there were some more helicopters shot down, primarily transport helicopters. And obviously, the price of oil continues dropping, which is increasingly twisting the Russian government into a precarious position as the price the price for Russian oil has, where was it? The actual price being paid for Russian oil is $47.40 per barrel, which is $10 below the current actual price of $57.42 per barrel. But even $57.42 is substantially below what the Russian government needs to not have to constantly keep circular money printing and self debt buying while pretending that it's banks willingly buying its debt. So this is how high they've gone up, which is almost three times the amount from 2023, for example, over four times the amount from last year by this point in the year. And this is before the big end year upsurges when they do their end of year spending surge. So this is going to be interesting to see how that jumps. And oh yeah, Venezuela, forgot. The actual engagement is still upcoming. Any specific date or time frame is as of yet unknown. I heard some some have said apparently that it's supposedly going to start before the end of the year. I can't like grant any veracity to or ver- veracity, the veristicity, whatever the word is, to that. I don't have any like solid indicators of that as of yet. Gradual additional force buildup continues, as you guys already know. We have double-digit warships of the U.S., including smaller aircraft carriers carrying Harriers and attack helicopters that have been brought into the region, along with at Puerto Rico, Reaper drones and F-35s, and now at Trinidad and Tobago, and soon to be Grenada, C-17s have been seen flying in and out, dropping off unspecified deliveries, undisclosed shipments. So whether or it would always, even if it was, well, there is no one or the other. It's personnel and equipment because both kind of require the other to do something. But C-17s have been coming and going and dropping off on the neighboring islands off the shore of Venezuela. Undisclosed deliveries, again, as I said last time, probably anti-air systems and anti-missile systems primarily. But also, we have one more ship that sailed in yesterday or the day before that has now joined the assortments that are parked off the Venezuelan coast. So that buildup continues. That likely really brief cruise missile and airstrike campaign is upcoming. Excuse me, reset. Thank you. Yeah, I almost would have forgotten that. Uh, Other than that, am I forgetting anything? Minor oil and gas news. That's one remaining Azerbaijan field in their portion of the Caspian Sea. As they're on their terminal decline, most of you who have been following me for a long time know that already. They're down between 550 and 600,000 now, after peaking at 1.1 million back in the mid or late 2000s. Now, or it might have been around 2010. Don't quote me directly on that. But they had one more big boost coming from a field, they're like one remaining Caspian field that would be between 60 and 100,000 barrels per day. And that was, in theory, supposed to come online late last year, but that project has been seeing constant delays and just experienced yet another set again. So it is looking like it has been, its activation has been pushed off into next year. So this is one of the longest running delayed ones that at least at least since I started following everything like 10 years ago or so. This is one of the longest in progress and supposedly about to start up, but constantly delayed due to issues projects. So they might get down even to like only 500,000 before they even get to switch that field on. And thus, by switching it on, briefly avoid dropping below 500,000 for like an extra year, maybe year and a half. We'll see. uh, Andrew is the only one talking. Everybody left after they showed up. All right. So if there's nothing from anybody, then I'll probably end this soon unless I run through my mind real quick and think of anything that I might have missed. Although I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Venezuela did do another buzz of U.S. warships off its coast. Sent up some F-16s to do a flyover and come back again, which is not really advisable. Or I would say it's not advisable because you'd be giving the U.S. what it wants, as in like a provocation. But it kind of doesn't matter anymore since we've sort of just flat out said, yeah, we're going to do it. And like Maduro just flat out agreed. He agreed to agree to whatever terms and conditions we wanted. And the response from the U.S. government was diplomacy is no longer on the table. It was something close to that, like word for word. So we flat out said that we're just going to do it. So now he might be sending random sortie flights because he effectively knows that it's that there's no risk of triggering us to do something if we've straight up said that we're just going to do it anyways, no matter what. I don't remember or think there was anything China Taiwan related that happened in the last week or since the last stream. I don't remember anything major with India either. Actually, for the first time, I don't feel like I'm forgetting something. I think I actually did get everything this time, but I can't be sure. All right, anything else from anyone? Otherwise, that's where I'm gonna cut it. Again, sorry everyone who showed up like 60% of the way through. I started earlier than I normally would, but on the VOD of the stream, obviously you can just go back like a video and watch whatever parts you want to. So I will see you guys around then, unless something pops up in the next few seconds. But otherwise, let me take a sip of water, and if there's nothing, then I'll end it here. Okay. Yeah, looks like nothing. All right then. I will see you guys around next time.